Amy, who harbors a deep fear of the ocean due to her father's drowning, had reluctantly joined the group for Zach's birthday celebration aboard Dan's newly acquired yacht. While the others enjoy their swim, Amy stays aboard, but Dan playfully throws her into the water, triggering her panic and flashbacks of her father's death. As the group struggles to find a way back onto the yacht, they fail repeatedly. Dan tries to climb using a flagpole and even an inflatable dolphin, but nothing works. Michelle, one of the friends, begins to panic and grows hysterical, thinking a shark is nearby, although Dan finds nothing when he dives to check. As tension mounts, the group begins to argue, blaming Dan for their predicament, as he's the one who forgot to lower the ladder. Michelle becomes desperate and tries to take Amy's life jacket, but the others manage to stop her. To calm her down, Lauren carries Michelle on her back and reads a prayer aloud. Desperation grows as the sun beats down, and everyone is exhausted, cold, and thirsty. They hear a cell phone ringing from Zach's jacket, which is hanging overboard, but the phone, soaked from the water, doesn't work when Zach answers. In a fit of panic, Michelle accidentally drops the phone into the sea, shattering their hope of calling for help. The group then tries another idea, using their clothes to create a makeshift rope. Unfortunately, the rope snaps when Zach tries to climb it, leaving them stranded again. James, now injured after hitting his head while diving, grows weaker and begins to bleed from his ear. Zach, seeing no other way, tries to pierce the side of the boat with a knife to create a foothold. But in the process, Dan accidentally stabs him. Zach slowly bleeds to death, while the others helplessly watch. Michelle, having lost all hope, drifts away from the group and drowns from exhaustion. With Zach dead and Michelle gone, Lauren breaks down, lamenting that she never told Zach she loved him. As hours pass, the remaining friends are physically and emotionally drained. James grows delirious from his injury, and Lauren, unable to bear the inactivity, swims away in a last-ditch effort to find help. Little Sarah, who has been left asleep in the yacht's cabin, wakes up and begins to cry over the walkie-talkie, intensifying Amy's desperation. As darkness falls, Amy is left floating in the water with her dying husband, James. A storm hits, and James succumbs to his injuries, leaving Amy devastated. Dan continues diving, but returns in agony, unable to find a way back onto the yacht. In a moment of inspiration, Dan uses the shard of a broken goggle to create a makeshift grip in the boat's gap, allowing Amy to step on him and attempt to climb aboard. After several tries, she succeeds, finally reaching the deck and lowering the ladder. However, Dan remains in the water, racked with guilt over the deaths of Zach and Michelle. Amy, now safe on the yacht with Sarah, realizes that Dan has chosen not to save himself and spots his motionless figure in the water. Overcoming her fear, Amy dives in after him, determined not to let him die the same way her father did. She drags him back to the surface, but the scene cuts to morning, where a fishing boat approaches the seemingly abandoned yacht. The fisherman calls out, receiving no answer, and the boat sails away. Sarah, still in the cabin, cries out for her mother. The final scene reveals Amy standing on the deck with Dan unconscious at her feet, the distant sound of the fishing boat's engine fading away. Amy has survived, but the weight of what transpired lingers as she faces the aftermath of their tragic ordeal. If you enjoy it, click and subscribe and watch the next video.